wrong, and I was gonna go back and redo it. So here, hold on, let me pull this out this way. There we go. My computer's going super slow. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so those same, because I looked at those, I was like, I don't get it, because they didn't really explain how to use the stuff. Like, I think these couple of things we have to do for the last two whatevers, they haven't explained how they work exactly.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't make sense.
So I looked at it, and I looked over Patrick's stuff too, and it made more sense.
Okay.
So let me pull up my quiz. And do you want to just talk about those couple that you gave me?
Sure.
Or do you want to talk about any of the others?
I don't know if I guess we'll run through it super fast, and then if I think of any questions, then I'll ask.
Okay.
If not, then, I mean, do you have a second, or are you just trying to get to something?
I have a few minutes, so that's fine.
Let's just go over the ones then that we both didn't get. That's fine.
Okay, so let's see. You said number 8.
8, yeah. Did you get that?
Okay, so I had to go back. So did you use the QQ plot to do the residuals?
I used the ANOVA page, or not the ANOVA page. The
So you use the linear regression page, but you also have to use the descriptive statistics, the quantitative descriptive statistics.
Where is that a whole nother workbook?
Yeah, it's that first workbook that like shows you mean and median and the histogram and all of that. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Because that's where I did the residuals QQ plotting.
Okay, because I was like, what the heck? I was like, I cannot find anything to do that in.
Yeah, so I actually I stuck it into the histogram and descriptive stats so that I could get like that it was between -40 and 25.
The
residuals. And then I stuck it in the QQ plot. And at first I was like, I don't get this because the data didn't look right.
Yeah.
And so I got number 7 wrong because I'm like, well, that's obviously not normal. And then I remembered you had to go into the instructions and make it go from lowest to highest. And it is like, seriously, it runs that QQ plot line, that linear line, like perfectly.
Which data did you put in? Because didn't it give us 2 columns?
Okay, no. So what you'll do is you will take, so it's the math efficiency, right? Or math efficacy or whatever.
Yeah.
And you'll plug them into your linear regression.
Yeah.
So you'll plug the one in as the explanatory and the other in as the response. And then it's going to give you the residuals. So if you go into that quantitative inference procedures book, it'll say explanatory variable X, explanatory variable Y, and then it gives you explanatory, anyway, and then it gives you that list of residuals.
Yeah.
So if you copy and paste that list of residuals into your descriptive statistics and put it in the QQ plot, and then set the QQ plot from lowest to highest, that'll arrange those. And so when you go back, like I missed number 7 because I forgot to go back and change the answer once I was like, oh, it's normal after I the rest of the instructions. So then for number 8, you will get that there's a linear relationship between X and Y. And you'll get that the term is constant for all values of X, but you also get that the residuals are normally distributed.
Okay, you got the third option, the first option, and which one?
The second option.
Okay, so the first 3 options?
Yeah, because if you look at the linear, so you'll look at the scatter plot, that'll give you the linear relationship between X and Y.
Okay.
And then the residuals plot, and that one, I'm not sure how to plot that one because I didn't find where to plot it. I mean, I guess you could create a scatter plot for that one, I suppose.
I think that one was just on the linear regression.
Right, but it gives you the linear, but they want the scatter plot of the residuals. Like you do a QQ plot of the residuals, but you also do a scatter plot of the residuals. So I wonder on a let me open up another work. Let me just open a
Isn't it just
pardon?
Isn't it just right here on the page?
Well, that scatter plot is the X and Y relationship.
Oh.
Oh, we want new. Oops,
well, could you just take that data and put it in on the other one?
Well, I put it into the QQ plot. Linear. I don't know if a scatter plot and QQ plot are the same thing.
Or do we need to put it on histogram and descriptive stats page?
I mean, I put it on the descriptive stats page, and I looked at the histogram, and I don't know. That might not have been right, but let's see. I want to put in a chart. Let's see. We want to do a scatter plot. There we go. Oh, I have to put in. Hold on. Information first. So let me. I think I still have this, but let me just do this really quickly and see what it looks like. Okay, let me go back to that workbook. Okay, undo this. Let me put this here. And we're going to go formatting, paste, there we go. And then let us put in, let's insert a chart. Yeah, I really should have taken that Learn the Excel class. It's going to be like the last class I take before I graduate.
Yeah, I'm taking that one next semester.
I was thinking about taking it, but I'm taking another class, and I just can't roll two classes over the summer. Okay, so if you look at so I just made a scatter plot for the residuals, and they're just kind of laid out there. There's no so what's the question about them? Let's go back to what the question is about them. Error term is constant in all values of X. So let's go to this video here.
Which one are you on?
What number?
Yeah.
Number 8 still, because I just want to check, because in the first video he talks about okay, so it says the residual plot, there needs to be no pattern. And when I make a scatter plot for the residuals, there's no pattern to it.
What data did you use?
I use that same data. So I use the residuals.
Just the residuals column?
Yeah, because so on the inference workbook,
yeah,
it gives you the X and Y relationship. If you take the residuals, and I guess you could put it with the QQ plot, but if you put the residuals into the QQ plot and then go lowest to highest, it'll give you that upward line. And then I just created a scatter plot of the residuals. I just inserted that. So I just opened a workbook for that. And it just kind of lays out there. There's no real rhyme or reason to it.
Oh, okay.
And that'll give you your other answer, the variance of the error term. is constant for all values of x.
So did you? Oh, okay. And then
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, cool, because this is what it says. It says, given the scatter plot, residuals plot, and the QQ plot, which of the 5 assumptions about linear regression is satisfied by this data? So when you go back to look for the error term is constant for all values of x, I think you have to use the residuals plot. So.
okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna ask Connor about that one though.
Okay. Well, you're doing better than me.
Does that make sense though?
I think so. Yeah. So then for the scatter plot, did you just use the explanatory variable x for your x values and the residuals for your y values?
No, the x and y values, they tell you how to put that in there. When you start this, when you use the inference.
I know when you just made your scatter plot.
Oh, I just took the residuals.
That one column?
Yeah, I mean, let me look at that other one though, because I didn't even think about using that other column.
Well,
you're talking about this to the. You're talking about the yeah, let's look at that column.
Well, because then wouldn't they just all be
so the explanatory variable?
Yeah.
Well, the explanatory variable x is just the same as the first column.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would just take the residuals.
And like when you did enter data for the chart, where did you put those?
Which chart?
For that scatter
the
plot?
Test for linear regression? The scatter plot?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go into the quantitative inference procedures, go into the linear regression part.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you to put, they say the explanatory variable is...
This is what
the confidence variable is the explanatory variable, so that's x. And the score variable is the response variable, so that'll be y.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next one is number 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you just go back to your linear regression thing.
Uh-huh.
And it'll be I thought that it was going to be something different, but it just go into the standardized unstandardized coefficients. And for the slope of B1, just go the 12.695.
And that's in that first column under B?
Yeah, under B. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I picked the wrong one. What did you say it is? 12.695?
12.695.
Okay.
And then what were the other?
And then
ones?
12.
12 and 13. Okay, so 12 is the same that we've always done. Would be they say the level of significance is 0.05.
Yeah.
So that's set up right there as 0.95. The confidence level right there in the blue, 0.95.
Okay.
Like right under the t-test for linear regression.
Yep.
And then it's just you go to the p-value, and since it's negative, whatever the exponent, like it's so negative goes on forever.
Yeah.
Then it's just it's less than the
That's really weird. I did
the
not
alpha.
do that. Okay, hold on. I might need to hurry and put this data in. Hold on. What? So score goes in which category?
Okay, so let me go back so I give you the right one. Okay, so do you have the score value right now?
Yeah.
Put that in as the response variable, so that's going to be y.
Okay.
And then go back and pick up the confidence variable.
Okay.
And that'll be x. Easy there, Bronx. You got it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
my p-value
Should say something for, okay, so now you're going, now the question asks, hold on, let me go down here. The question asks, construct a 95% confidence interval for B1. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the B1 information, the beta 1 or whatever that is.
Uh-huh. And
Okay.
mine is, oh, did you get 3.31266 E negative 24?
Right. And so because it's E negative, whatever, so it's really going to be 0.0000000.
I missed the E.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is reject the null because P is less than.
Exactly. Then the alpha.
Okay. So then obviously, yeah, that makes sense on 13. And so 13 is.
So because we're rejecting the null, so that means there's sufficient evidence to conclude that the slope of the regression line is not 0.
Okay. Thanks.
Because when you do hypothesis testing, the null hypothesis is that B1 is equal to 0. And the alternative hypothesis is that B is not equal to 0.
Okay.
B1 is not equal to 0.
Okay. Sweet. Thank you.
Yep.
What a pain in the keister.
Yep.
Is there any that you missed that I can help you with?
No, not on that. Once I kind of looked at it, it took me a little while to kind of really kind of understand where I was going with it. Okay. And then I just had to go back and read multiple times so I could get question 18 right, because I still struggle with how they word that. But
let me see. Oh, you know what? I have struggled with those the entire semester.
So this is what I'm finding. This is how I get the correct answer. Is that it says based on your lower bound and upper bound, what can you say about beta 1? Okay, so I have to go back to what they give you, and it says construct a 95% confidence interval for beta 1.
Yeah.
So then I have to go back down here and read all of the suggestions and see which one says we're 95% confidence, the confidence interval. So I have to go back and like read the way it's worded, and usually the correct answer is worded very similar to what they give you. And that's the only way, like I have to go back and reread it to make sure I have all the words in there. And I found that since I started doing that, I get it right.
Then you're like, okay, that's a good. Hey, and I got a margin of error question right.
Yay! 1 minus the other divided by 2.
Yep. I was like, that is Cassandra helping me out big time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like so shocked. Like, yes.
Exactly. I think about you every time I answer those questions too.
I don't know what it is. Like I cannot ever get them right.
I mean I've gotten to where I get them right, but using the equation, like the calculator, but it's so time consuming if you don't have a lower and upper bound intervals.
I just do it. So. Yeah, I'm like, screw it. I'm doing it the way Cassandra showed me because it's worked every time so far. So
I'm right every time.
Yeah, like I don't care.
Yeah. Anyway, so that should be about all of it. Any questions on the rest of it? I mean, I really honestly only had the same questions you did. So
okay, yeah.
The rest of it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the rest of them were pretty easy, except for whatever reason those couple. Well, and 2 of them, I mean, I just didn't see the E. If I had seen that, then I would have been fine.
Right. The one I missed, it's because I hadn't completed the instructions for the QQ plot, so I'll just go back and retake it really quickly. So it's not a big deal.
Okay, let me know if you need. You know how to access.
What I need is the one that we took a couple times ago, and I couldn't figure it out. I'm still looking at that one.
Which one?
Oh gosh, let me see if I can find it now.
Here, I'll stop the recording.
Okay.